And now it's time to take you through all the big stories from the country and across the globe in the next 30 minutes in Non-Stop 100. Pakistan has once again resorted to ceasefire violations across the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, in the fresh round of firing, an army man was martyred in the state's Rajouri district. The Home Minister, in an interaction with the media, once again reiterated his stand on Pakistan, saying that Pakistan must stop sheltering terror outfits for its own good. The Prime Minister also hit out at Pakistan, calling it the mothership of terrorism. Modi said at the BRICS summit in Goa that tragically the mothership of terrorism is the country's neighborhood. The Prime Minister also took a dig at China, saying quote-unquote selective approaches to terrorists and their outfits are futile and counterproductive. An informal interaction took place between the Prime Minister of India and the Chinese President Xi Jinping, along with the Nepal Prime Minister Prachanda. It appears that Nepal is keen on doing a balancing act and projecting it publicly too. Further cornering Pakistan, BRICS nations unanimously condemned terrorism in all its forms, including the recent terror attacks on India. The Prime Minister held bilateral talks with Nepal, Bangladesh, in fact Pushpa Kumar, Prachanda and Sheikh Hasina following the BRICS BIMSTEC outreach summit. The Prime Minister even thanked his Bhutanese counterpart for the support that was extended by the Himalayan kingdom after last month's cross-border terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri. The nation bid farewell to a braveheart SSB Jawan who was martyred in Srinagar. After the wreath-laying ceremony, his mortal remains reached his hometown Dausa, where hundreds of people participated in his last rites. Filmmaker Anurag Kashyap, who was trolled by several on social media after he questioned the Prime Minister's visit to Lahore and asked him to apologize for that trip that he made in December last year. Anurag Kashyap says that the Prime Minister should say sorry for the trip that he made to meet the Pakistani Prime Minister last year in December. Karan Johar, in fact, has also been shooting for his upcoming film Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, and Anurag has extended support to Karan. In the wake of the spillover of the recent tensions in Bollywood, Priyanka Chopra has said that as a patriot, she would go along with the government's decision, but she further added that she was against targeting artists. The anti-terror squad, Pradesh Police, has busted a Maoist module in the NCR region and has arrested 10 people, including their area commander, who is suspected to have links with Maoist outfits in Jharkhand. 9 Maoists were arrested from Noida in a night-long raid, while one more was arrested from Chandoli in Uttar Pradesh. Now, these arrests came following a tip-off during a raid conducted in an apartment in Noida, where 550 live cartridges, an assault rifle, 2 other rifles and 3 self-loading rifles and other arms were recovered. Aam Aadmi Party MLA and in charge of Gujarat Affairs, Gulab Singh Yadav, was arrested by the Delhi police in connection with an extortion case against his aides. The Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, has announced that the Aam Aadmi Party will contest the next assembly election in Gujarat and has even asked the people to, what it says, throw out the BJP President Amit Shah. A few protesters grouped under the Brahma Samaj and the self-proclaimed Partidar activists tried to raise slogans against the Aam Aadmi Party chief, but they hardly numbered 25 to 30 people. Bihar Chief Minister was formally appointed as the JDU president. The promotion pushes him for a bigger role in national politics. The 8th BRICS summit has concluded, with the Prime Minister calling upon leaders of the group of emerging economies to double the size of intra-grouping trade to $500 billion in the next 5 years. Ahead of the Uttar Pradesh polls, there are a lot of rumors and speculation of Congress leader Rita Bahuguna Joshi joining the BJP and leaving the Congress behind, although her brother Vijay Bahuguna spoke to India Today and dismissed all the news and reports as baseless rumors. As many as 24 people, including 14 women, were killed and 13 injured in a stampede near Rajghat Bridge on the border of Varanasi and Chandoli district. The police in Jammu city of Jammu and Kashmir have captured more than 150 pigeons, allegedly being smuggled for the purpose of espionage. A man suffering from AIDS passed away in Odisha's Balasore district, but villagers refused to allow his family to perform his last rites at the cremation ground as they feared that the disease might spread to them. Scrub typhus fever, which is an infectious disease caused by an insect bite, has claimed at least 30 lives in the last 2 months in Himachal Pradesh. The disease, which is caused by a harvesting insect, is found in the East Asian and South Pacific regions. A Central Pollution Control Board study has found that the air quality in Delhi continues to have high pollution levels even after the monsoon. Asking all medical bodies to ensure proper collection, segregation and disposal of biomedical waste, the NGT has directed the Delhi government to submit the quantum of waste generated by all city hospitals, nursing homes and laboratories. The Central Information Commission says JNU must proactively disclose steps taken to ward off the menace of theft, which has recently plagued the institution. 3 B.Tech students were killed after their car rammed a tractor trolley in outer Delhi's Alipur area. The students of the biotechnology at Amity University were going to Murthal along with 7 classmates. In fact, a rickshaw tour of tourist attractions in Old Delhi was launched by 2 young entrepreneurs aiming to promote rich cultural heritage of the city. The Maratha community took its statewide campaign for the demands of reservation to the doorstep of Mumbai by organizing a huge silent march in the adjoining Thane district. Now, this mega silent march was also joined by Minister Eknath Shinde and leaders of the Shiv Sena, the Congress and the NCP as well. Uncertainty hangs over the elections of 11 seats of the Maharashtra Legislative Council, which would fall vacant on the 5th of December as sitting members' term will be ending. A 61-year-old RTI activist was shot dead at his residence in Kalina. His family members claimed that he had taken on politicians and other people who were involved in illegal construction. A best bus driver went on a rampage in Borivali locality of the city. The speeding bus, which was used to ferry BPO employees, rammed into at least 8 vehicles, causing further damage to them. Making his intentions absolutely clear, the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu wants the TDP to remain in power for the next 20 years in the state. The Telangana government has zeroed in on locations for setting up dry ports. These dry ports will help increase exports from the state from the present 1 lakh crore to 1.50 lakh crore per year. The Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board has inked 2 memorandum of understandings with Russian corporations in the presence of the Prime Minister and Vladimir Putin. Afghanistan envoy to India says that his country will soon open a consulate in Hyderabad, which will be a step forward for expansion of ties between both the nations. Intensifying the drive against drug menace, police have arrested 5 persons in Cyberabad for allegedly peddling drugs. Police say that they have seized the contraband from the accused. Massive protests erupted after RSS worker Rudresh was hacked to death in broad daylight. Prohibitory orders have been implemented and there is a heavy deployment of police. The BJP Yuva Morcha has called for a 48-hour statewide bandh condemning the killing of the RSS worker and the failure of the government to maintain law and order. A human chain protest against the proposed steel flyover project along the road to the international airport has received massive support, with at least 3,000 people participating in the event. The Chief Minister says that the government will have to examine the legal implications before going ahead with any decision to increase the reservation quota for the scheduled castes and tribes in education and employment. Now, the government has made it mandatory for all government hospitals in the state to have a barber shop in their premises. The move is meant to ensure better hygiene of hospital staff and patients. Farmers, along with the opposition in the state, have organized a 48-hour Rail Roko campaign to vent their frustration against the centre for opposing the setting up of a Kaveri Water Management Board. As the suspense continued about the health of Jayalalitha, who has been admitted in the Apollo Hospital, there was no medical bulletin about her health. However, special prayers are being conducted across the state of Tamil Nadu, and one such one was held in Coimbatore, where the priest headed by Swami Kumara Guru Bara held special prayers and chanted special mantras for the Chief Minister. The police continue to hunt down netizens who allegedly have been spreading wrong rumours regarding the Chief Minister's health. Superstar Rajnikant also visited the Apollo Hospital to inquire about the health of the Chief Minister. He was accompanied by his daughter Aishwarya. The State Assembly session, which is set to begin today and is expected to be a stormy one amidst the nepotism row that led to the resignation of the Industries and Sports Minister E.P. Jayaraj. The opposition has hinted at a strong protest against the government over the nepotism row. The opposition leader, Ramesh Chandtala, says that the minister's resignation does not bring a closure and that there must be a probe against the chief minister. Now, the Vigilance Court will be hearing a case against the former Kerala chief minister who stepped down over nepotism charges. Jayarajan had allegedly appointed his nephew to key post in a PSU. With political violence claiming 2 lives in Kannur last week, CPIM has asked the Prime Minister to intervene and advise the RSS BJP against indulging in violence of politics. A 3-member family allegedly jumped in front of a trade and committed suicide in Ernakulam. The couple and their 20-year-old daughter took the extreme step allegedly after their elders quarrelled and left the home. The CPIM has lashed out at the government over the TMC's failure to stop communal violence following Muharram procession, particularly in the areas of North Parganas and Hooghly. A former student of a reputed Jadavpur University was allegedly brutally murdered by her husband and in-laws in Howrah. Her family suspected that she was killed for dowry. TMC workers in West Midnapur staged an agitation and blocked a road over the police action against them. 2 commuters who protested over boardings were thrashed by an auto driver in South 24 Parganas. The driver, after he received the thrashing, fled from the spot. 6 people accused of burglary were arrested by the police in East Midnapur district. The gang has allegedly robbed, looted and have even attacked several people. A Turkish-backed rebel have captured the symbolically important Syrian town of Dabiq from the Islamic State group, but a human rights group says that the rebels took over the town after the ISIS members withdrew. The United States, Russia and 7 other countries would, of course, be Syria mediators, and they have ended the meeting without an agreement or any concrete step to end the urgent crisis in the city of Aleppo. A suspected suicide bomber killed 3 police officers and wounded at least 8 people in a southern Turkish city. The blast occurred during a police raid at an Islamic State safe house. A suicide bomber detonated an explosive vest at a Shiite Muslim. It was a gathering in Baghdad that killed at least 2 people and wounded 4 others. A fire at an asylum center in Stockholm has now been brought under control by the firefighters. This fire in buildings temporarily housing people who have received a right to stay in Sweden started soon after midnight. A U.S. defense official says that a naval destroyer was once again targeted in the Red Sea in an apparent failed missile attack that was launched from the coast of Yemen. The Scottish First Minister says that it was highly likely that Scotland would hold a new independence referendum before 2020 after Britain voted to leave the European Union. A typhoon made a landfall in the Philippines, causing the cancellation of some flights and forcing ships to dock as heavy rain and strong winds battered the northern island of Luzon. 4 people were killed when a pickup truck hauled off San Diego's Coronado Bridge, plummeting some 60 feet and crashing into a park where hundreds of people had gathered for a festival. A man died and a woman was left in a critical condition during the annual Cross Harbour race in Hong Kong. The 46-year-old man was pulled from the water that was just close to the race finish line after he became unconscious. Police in Senegal tear gas hundreds of protesters after they had gathered. The protesters are angry with the current unemployment levels and perceived nepotism in the government. In France, there is no excuse for bad food, even on board an aircraft carrier that's waging a campaign of airstrikes against the Islamic State. It was the head chef, Lieutenant Frank, who says that the French gastronomy had a reputation to uphold. A footbridge on Germany's place near Stuttgart was demolished to make way for a new stretch of highway with extra driving lanes. Firefighters tried to contain a wildfire that has affected 3,000 acres of land and at least 24 homes in western Nevada. A giant panda, believed to have been the oldest ever kept in captivity, has died at the age of 38. The death of Jia Jia, whose age in human terms was more than 100 years, was announced by the Hong Kong theme park. The last season's runners-up, FC Goa held Atletico de Kolkata to a 1-1 draw. Samik was putting Kolkata ahead in the 6th minute, but the Goans bounced back, riding on a spot kick from Joffrey Mathieu in the 76th minute. Olympic medalist Sakshi Malik finally got engaged to her wrestler boyfriend Satyavrat Kadian at her residence in Rohith. It was a private function that was attended only by family members. Shah Rukh Khan, who is shooting for Imtiaz Ali's The Ring in Budapest, shared a very sweet picture where he can be seen channeling the Desi bond in him. Saif Ali Khan, who is currently shooting in Kerala for his upcoming film Chef, was joined by his wife Kareena Kapoor Khan to celebrate their 4th wedding anniversary. Alia Bhatt says that she had a very good experience playing a DJ in Karan Johar's upcoming film Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. Bollywood actress Nimrat Kaur looked every inch of royalty in a beautiful white gown that was designed by Mandira Virk during her latest collection titled New Royals. Actress Sandra Bullock and her boyfriend Brian are reportedly getting married. The 52-year-old star has been dating Brian since last year and have planned to tie the knot in a private ceremony. Hollywood actress Amy Adams will continue playing the princess role in Disenchanted, which is a belated sequel to Disney's 2007 hit Enchanted. Filmmaker Ang Lee has turned down Disney's offer to direct a live-action film. The movie is an adaptation of the 1998 animated hit. Singer Robbie Williams says that he used fillers and Botox to retain his youthful complexion, but now he can no longer move his forehead. The Film Society of Lincoln Center has named veteran actor Robert De Niro as the recipient of the 44th Annual Chaplin Award, which honors major industry talents. Potentially sparking yet another privacy row, social networking giant Facebook has agreed to adopt a new European Union data accord that allows personal information to be transferred to the US. Panasonic has developed a prototype of an invisible TV which generates bright, clear images as normal TVs do. In some bad news for Twitter, its last potential buyer, Salesforce, has decided not to make a bid to buy the struggling microblogging website. Salesforce chief says that the firm has walked away from buying Twitter. Concerned over battery explosion fears, the United States federal agencies have banned Samsung Galaxy Note 7 smartphones from airplanes across the country. Domestic mobile handset maker Intex Technologies has launched low-range Aqua 5.5 VR and Aqua Craze 2 smartphones. In fact, the 4G Volt-enabled smartphone Aqua 5.5 VR will be coming with a 5.5-inch HD IPS screen display.